And welcome back to Champion News Talk Radio, brought to you by championnews.net. Thank you for staying with us. This is Carol Parisi, Jack Roeser, our founder, and myself have Congressman Joe Waslh today with us. And can we talk about 2012, Joe?
Sure. It's an important election. I always thought 2010 was the most important election in my lifetime. This next one is the most important. And everybody at all my town halls asks me, who should our nominee beat? We need another Ronald Reagan. How are we going to get Obama out of the White House? You know what? We don't need another Ronald Reagan. Every single day this president's in the White House, he's destroying what makes this country great. There's a movement, Carol Ann, Jack, you know it, a movement of angry, concerned, and frightened Americans. That movement's growing, and it's big enough to overtake this president. They don't need a savior. They just need a voice.
But the press is saying about the Tea Party, what's some of the...
terrorists. They're terrorists,
Jack,
Tea Partiers.
They're denigrating them as though these are some runaway folks who will disappear. We don't need to put up with them much longer. Boy, they've got that wrong. And,
thankfully, they've got that wrong, Jack. And unfortunately, my party, the Democrat and the Democratic Party, both parties don't understand how big this movement is.
No, they don't get it.
And maybe it's a good thing they don't. Maybe it's a good thing the media doesn't understand how big it is. It's bigger than either political party. I'm convinced of that. So when Joe Biden calls us terrorists, he's insulting more people than he knows. The movement simply needs a credible voice, because polls tell us, even if there's some personal a reservoir of goodwill for this president, on every issue they disagree with him. And so we need a candidate who's right on the issues and will win.
But
and with the guts to say it.
Got it, Jack.
The failure of the Republican race for governor here was because the handlers of the Republican Party at that time wouldn't let him say the things that he should and knew in his heart were so. And particularly it's about the pensions and the disasters that the Democrats have given us in Illinois. He said nothing, and as a result, he lost the unlosable election. This next election, that part of the Republican Party that's been running Illinois is pretty much gone. The Brahmins with the money and the people that ran the party, they have retreated in defeat, and nobody really wants them back. Our Renaissance Republicans and the Republican Party that's left from the ones in the charge of the counties and so forth, county chairman, there's still a lot of life in all of that. And in the Tea Party. That's the three legs that are going to run this thing.
Jack, how do you think the next election is going to affect the average voter? Don't you think they have a short memory?
Well, you sound like you're with the Tribune or the rest of the so-called media, because they're trying to denigrate the Tea Party people, and they don't want to think about the rolling disaster that's going to drown them out. Because now we have in Illinois, we have a cleaned up Republican Party, the people that caused the defeat of its governor candidate with their mellowness, their lack of integrity on the issues, that's gone. So we've got a cleaned up party, we've got the Renaissance Republican group, and we've got the Tea Party people together. The press is trying to denigrate the Tea Party people, but there is a new force in the field here in Illinois, and that is, it is the remaining Republican Party. Those doofuses that went through that defeat, they're gone. They're off the field. And there'll be a new bunch of people with money, but mainly there are the Renaissance Republicans, and the Tea Party are a new force in the field for the Republican Party in Illinois. And we have organized, and we're going to go into this next election in 12 with a new kind of a Republican Party in Illinois. And that's going to happen in a lot of places in the rest of the country. And that's a powerful force.
So?
I just wanted to say I love that word doofus. I've always loved that word doofus. Look, Jack's exactly right. The groundswell, the grassroots folks are there. We need candidates who are fighters. You cannot, my God, look what I went through when I ran. I mean, look at all the baggage that I had to talk about, and I had a lot out there. It wasn't easy, but my God, we're fighting for this country. So I was perfectly willing to put myself out there, warts and all, because we're going to die unless we turn this thing around. We've got 2 to 3 years to turn this thing around, or our kids and our grandkids will never talk to us again. You had better fight when you're running for office, at whatever level you're running.
there'll be a new revolution. This has got to be taken in a political way. We all have to work hard.
And this is one of the reasons why.
There's one thing I wanted to say here, and that is that there's a quote from our second president. I've got a plaque on my wall in Liberty Hall, and it says, "We have given," that's our second president, he said, "We have given you a constitution for a moral and religious people, and it's suitable for the governance of none other." What he's really telling us is that this government has been set up for free and responsible people. Obama doesn't get that, because you aren't going to get a free and responsible bunch of bureaucrats very many places at all.
One of the reasons why all these names that the Tea Party has been called, from the media and the politicians, from racists to bigots to incompetents to...
Well, first they didn't even exist.
Yeah, you name it. It hasn't worked because everybody in America has an Aunt Mary or an Uncle Joe or Grandpa Edwards that's part of the movement. They know these people, and they know them to be hardworking, tax-paying Americans.
Michael, that's the thing. The media doesn't understand how broad this movement is. Maybe
Luckily
that's a
so.
good thing. Maybe that's a good thing they don't understand it.
Good thing.
Yeah.
We'll surprise them.
Absolutely, because the movement's going to continue to grow. They need a voice as their presidential nominee.
Yes, they do. And I'm wondering, does anybody have anybody that they like on this show right now, or are we not going to discuss that right now?
Well,
I
if
think
Jack's not going to run, then it's a wide open field to me.
Oh, you know what? We're going to come
But
back
the
real
criteria
soon.
that you set are real.
You got to fight. You have to fight.
You know what? When we come back after the break, we are going to talk more with Congressman Joe Waslh.